Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at https://wmorningdownload.com. Subscribe. Let's dive right in. In today's episode, we'll cover the S&P Index nears new highs, Disney and others reporting earnings, Bitcoin's rise above $44K, the Russian economy growing faster than the US and EU, Disney's better-than-expected earnings and investment in Epic Games, Bitcoin surge due to BlackRock's successful spot ETF, and tips on funding your child's education, including starting a savings account and avoiding student loans, along with Warren Buffett's preference for spending money over saving it.
In the latest World Economic Outlook update for January 2024, it was revealed that the Russian economy is growing faster than both the US and the EU. While the real US GDP growth stands at 5%, Russia's economy has experienced a growth rate of 0%. These numbers have taken many experts by surprise, considering the ongoing sanctions faced by Russia. Despite the concerns surrounding the economy, the US has proven to be quite resilient, and most experts do not foresee a recession on the horizon. However, companies still remain cautious and worried about the potential impact of any economic shocks. Interestingly, stocks are currently reaching new highs, and the U.S. trade gap has narrowed significantly in 2023, marking its smallest size in 3 years. In addition, the country's GDP is projected to surpass the $7 trillion mark in the coming decade, largely attributed to immigration. In the global market, a few notable events have occurred. Crisis-ridden Paytm is currently in talks with top Indian officials after suffering a $5 billion market capitalization wipeout. China, on the other hand, has experienced a decline in producer prices for the 16th consecutive month, with consumer prices recording their biggest drop since 2009. Lastly, SoftBank has gained $16 billion in earnings from ARM, exceeding its losses in WeWork. Furthermore, SoftBank's Vision Fund has seen a $4 billion gain, the largest in nearly 3 years, as tech valuations recover. So, there were a lot of earnings announcements yesterday from some big names. Let's dive in and see what's going on. First up, Disney had a fantastic day. Not only did they beat earnings expectations with an EPS of $1.22 compared to the estimated $0.99, but their revenue also came in higher than expected at $5 billion versus $23, $8 billion. And it doesn't stop there. Disney is making big moves by taking a $5 billion stake in Epic Games, the parent company of Fortnite. This is their biggest step into the gaming world yet. They're also planning to release an exclusive version of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour movie on their platform, which experts believe will boost subscriber numbers. Looks like Disney is setting itself up for an amazing 2024. Next we have PayPal, which had a good earnings report but gave poor guidance. They beat revenue expectations with $8 billion compared to the estimated $88 billion, and their EPS came out at $1.48 versus the estimated $1.36. However, the stock is down before the market opens due to the weak guidance. Moving on to Alibaba, they missed revenue expectations for the December quarter. However, they did announce an increase in the size of their share buyback program by $25 billion. That's a huge investment. Now let's talk about some other companies that reported earnings. Siemens beat forecasts despite a fall in digital sector orders. On the flip side, Yum Brands disappointed as sales growth was impacted by the Middle East conflict. In other news, Unilever has announced a $6 billion buyback as the CEO pushes for improvements. On the other hand, shipping giant Maersk has suspended share buybacks due to disruptions in the Red Sea, causing their stock to slide by 5%. And lastly, there are a couple of interesting tidbits. ESPN will be launching its own streaming service in the fall of 2025, and General Motors has committed to spending $19 billion through 2035 to source EV battery materials from LG Chem. Exciting stuff happening all around. Exciting news in the world of cryptocurrencies. BTC, that's Bitcoin by the way, has surged back above the $44,000 mark. It's the first time it has reached this level since the whole ETF frenzy. Just to recap, BTC was last trading above $44,000 on January 12th, when it even hit a 52-week high of $48,000. The hype surrounding the ETF played a major role in that surge. Now, what's driving this recent market move? Well, there isn't a specific catalyst that we can point to. However, some believe that the success of BlackRock's spot ETF might have something to do with it. In fact, this ETF has now joined the top 5 in terms of year-to-date flows within the financial asset class. Bitcoin seems to have its sights set on the $45,000 mark. But there's a bit of a downside too. This upward movement has resulted in a lot of short positions being liquidated. The past 24 hours alone saw more than $44 million worth of Bitcoin positions being liquidated, and most of them were short positions. That's the volatility for you. Education is so expensive these days, especially in countries like the US. Can you believe that the average cost of attending a public 4-year in-state institution is over $100,000 for 4 years? That's a huge amount of money. But here's the thing. Did you know that there are countries where you can actually get free education? Yeah, countries like Germany, Italy, Finland, and Norway offer free education to students. Some of them will even pay you to enroll. How cool is that? Now, I know that not everyone can just pick up and move to another country for education. So, if you're in a place like China or India, where education is more affordable but still a challenge, I've got some tips for you. First things first, start with a savings account. Consider opening a government-sponsored savings account like the 529 plan in the US. It offers great benefits such as tax-free earnings and withdrawals when the money is used for college. Plus, you can even change the beneficiary if needed. Just keep in mind that there may be penalties for withdrawing funds for other purposes and gift tax limits. Another option is the Uniform Transfer to Minors Act, UTME, or Uniform Gift to Minors Act, UGME, which are great savings accounts. And if you're considering a Roth IRA, that can be used to save for your child's education too. But here's a word of caution. Stay away from student loans. Trust me, you do not want to be in debt for 20 years trying to repay your student loan. It's just not worth it. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, has always had a unique perspective on wealth. In his own words, "It's nice to have a lot of money, but you don't want to keep it around forever. I prefer buying things." He believes that money should be put to good use rather than hoarded. Buffett's philosophy is an interesting one. He compares holding on to money to saving sex for old age, suggesting that both are meant to be enjoyed and experienced in the present. Just like how you wouldn't want to wait until you're old to enjoy intimacy, Buffett argues that money should be used and enjoyed while you can. This perspective challenges the conventional notion of accumulating wealth just for the sake of it. While having financial security is important, Buffett highlights the importance of finding joy in spending and investing. He is a firm believer in using money to buy things that bring value and enrich one's life. Buffett's wisdom reminds us that money is a tool, and it's how we utilize that tool that truly matters. It's not about amassing a fortune to simply gaze at it. It's about translating that wealth into experiences, investments, and contributions that bring fulfillment. So, let's take a page from Buffett's book and remember that money can be fleeting, but the experiences and impact it can facilitate are what truly last.
In today's episode, we covered a range of topics, including the near-high S&P Index, earnings reports from Disney and others, the rise of Bitcoin, the growth of the Russian economy, concerns over potential economic shocks, successful stock figures, investments and buyback programs, funding your child's education, and Warren Buffett's unique perspective on spending and saving. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at morningdownload.com/subscribe.